as heroes of faith and soldiers well armed this morning. Lord's been talking to me about darkness this week. And something that the Lord dropped in my heart about 2 days ago was this. Do you realize it is not necessary for the light to know the name of the darkness?
Right.
Do you realize it is not necessary for the light, does not have to know this is darkness Fred, this is darkness Tom, this is darkness Jack, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to destroy all three of those places of darkness. It doesn't have to know the address. It doesn't have to know the origin.
Right.
All the light has to do is be.
That's right.
That's it.
Do you realize that light always overwhelms darkness? That darkness has no ability to reproduce. Darkness has absolutely no power. Darkness cannot overcome light in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Darkness cannot reproduce in any way. It cannot create energy. It cannot create life. The only thing darkness can do is come in and invade the absence of light. Because all darkness is the absence of light.
Right. That's good.
Darkness cannot produce heat. You know why? Because darkness is nothing. It has no power. Light produces heat. Darkness is just the absence of light. So it can't even produce heat because all it is coming in into a vacuum where there is no light.
Amen.
Keep that in mind. All the darkness can do is invade the areas where light has given up its place. And we are sons and daughters of light. I want to remind you a couple of scriptures this morning. One, Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 says, you are the light of the world. You, each and every one of us, as saints, as heroes of faith, as soldiers well armed, we are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. And the Bible says this, narrow is the way. Matthew chapter 7, verse 14, straight and narrow is the way that leads unto life, and few there be that find it. But I want to ask you this question. Is it possible that the only reason so few people find it is because they are blinded by darkness? They are groping and crawling and searching with everything that's within them. But the light has withdrawn itself from their presence. And so because the light has withdrawn, the darkness has overwhelmed them. And as the darkness has overwhelmed them, they cannot find the narrow gate and the true and right way.
Amen.
We are the light of the world. We are heroes of faith. We are called to be a city set on a hill. We are called to rise up and pierce the darkness with our light. I'll remind you this. Do you realize there's absolutely no in-run difference between personal blindness and atmospheric darkness?
Amen. That's right.
If I am blind, I cannot see at all. That is no different than if I am standing in, if you've ever been in this room and all the lights go out, there's no windows in here, it's dark. You won't see, you can't see that chair in front of you. You'll pull out your phone to make light to get out of the room because it's utter darkness. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Do you realize it doesn't matter whether I'm personally blind or whether I am in an atmosphere of total darkness? Either one of them has the same result. I will stumble like a blind man leading a blind man, and I will find myself laying in the ditch. But all it takes, I can be standing in this room and be in utter darkness, and one person walk in back there with a flashlight in their hand, and instantaneously my eye will go to that light, and I will gravitate towards that light. Why? Because that light is light. We are the light of the world. We are a city set on a hill. God has called us as heroes of faith and soldiers well armed to rise up and shine a dark. Right now in the Atkins community, there is a revival that is boiling up. There is a time right now while the iron is hot, a place for us to strike, and we must, as soldiers of light, stand up and say, here I am, Lord. Use me. Make the light in me bright. Make the heat coming out of me hot. Show me where the darkness is, God. Not that I have to know the name of the darkness, but just give me the opportunity to shine a light in the darkness, that the light will go out and pierce in that darkness, and lives will be changed.
Amen.
Somebody's got to lead them to find the gate. Somebody's got to lead them to find the way. Somebody's got to lead them to find show them that narrow door. And all it takes is men and women who will embrace the light, who will allow it to shine through them. That's us. That is Bell's Chapel, Assembly of God Church, heroes of faith and soldiers well armed. So we're going to gather up this morning. We're going to pray that God will shine His light through us here today like nobody can even imagine.